Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a live recording between me and a UiPath aspirant. So basically this is a Zoom recording where I am giving a hands-on experience to a UiPath beginner. We are talking about the different components of UiPath which as a beginner we should be aware of, that is UiPath Studio, Assistant and Orchestrator. Then we go by what exactly Studio is, what is Assistant and what is Orchestrator, what exactly is Orchestrator, why do we need it, and then the overall structure of the UiPath, that how the Studio is connected to Orchestrator, what is environment, how a Nugget is related to Orchestrator, what is robot, what is UiPath Assistant. So if you are an absolute beginner in UiPath and you want to know how exactly these components are related to each other, go ahead and listen the recording and provide your valuable feedback.
So first of all, I want you to understand about the components that you should understand as a beginner. Okay, I'm not saying that you should be fully aware of that what this thing is doing, what is that thing, but at least you should be aware of what are the components UiPath beginner. So I will treat you as a beginner. Okay, and you
Yeah.
should understand. So the first thing is the UiPath Studio. So this is the place where we write the code, where we write the logic, where we implement the logic, where we write the actual code. How? So this is the place where we teach the robot that you have to do this thing. Okay, so this is the place UiPath Studio, right? Next, we have something called the UiPath Assistant. Okay, this is the guy. You can stop me anywhere. Okay, if you are not getting. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next thing is this guy UiPath Assistant. So what is this guy? So once you execute the any robot, this is the guy who is responsible for triggering that thing in my machine, right? So I will tell you, I will come to this detail later, but as of now you just understand that UiPath Assistant is something who is responsible for triggering a automation in a particular machine. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is an exe. For example, if I tell you who is responsible for drawing the things, so you would say paint, right? So paint is
Then yeah.
responsible for drawing the things on the screen, and ppt is responsible for creating ppt.exe is responsible for creating the PowerPoint presentation. Similarly, UiPath Assistant is an exe provided by UiPath. It comes with all a package, both these guys, and this is responsible for running the automation. How and that I'll come in some minutes. Okay, next we have something called orchestrator. Okay, so this is a web interface, and what happens whenever we uh, do a project from the studio, we deploy it to Orchestrator, right? How that exactly work? We'll go in a meanwhile. Okay, so first of all, studio. Why and why do we need a studio, right? So it is an automation canvas for developer and business users. Okay, why I'm saying developer and business users? Because developers use Studio and business users use Studio X. Why? Next, what happens is in the studio we have some set of activities and packages that are used to automate a task, right? So we have activities, right? So we drag and drop, open Excel, type into activity, click message box. So it has set of activities that help you to automate the task. What can you do in studio? You can develop the code, you can debug the code, you can publish your code to Orchestrator, right? So all these things will be done by the or studio. Then we can develop the reusable components. So what is reusable component? So for example, if you are working in a company, and so most of the company tasks are the same. So as a senior developer or a solution architect, what you should think of is a reusable component, so that the coming people don't have to rewrite the code. So for example, if my company is using a website ABC and I have already written a code to log in into that application, why should the other developer write it, right? So we
Mm.
create reusable code that is written in Studio. And then at the last, we have something called version maintenance. You understand version maintenance, Git, SVN, TFS?
Yeah. Version maintenance. This
Yeah,
JIT, I think
right.
I stumbled on it on the C sharp training.
Right. So at a very
Mm,
high level, what this does is it will create a version maintenance of your code. For example, if you are doing something and let's say there are 5 developers working on a same project, Git or SVN or TFS will allow you to club your code combine. It will restrict the people from overwriting each other codes, taking the decisions, merging the code properly. So let's say I check in something, you check in something, then with the help of Git, we can resolve the dependencies and all those stuffs. So
okay.
that thing is also possible with the help of Studio. As simple as that, this is all related to the developer. We have to develop the code, we publish it to the orchestrator, right? And
Mm,
this is the URL where you can read it. Now, why do I need assistant? I have written the code. Okay, I have written the code in the Studio. I press F5 and it is running awesome on my machine, right? Now, why do we need assistant? This guy, UiPath assistant, or somebody calls it UiPath robot also. In the previous
mm,
version, when UiPath launched it, it was also called UiPath robot. So in your automation world, you might hear robot from me also or from someone else also. So if you go to the, this forum, there people, somebody writes robot. So that is nothing but the assistant only. Okay, so
yeah.
this allow you to manage and set reminders and view the processes. So this will tell you what all processes are running. So if you will see, this is a process of Hello World, which was last triggered on this machine 39 minutes ago, this guy.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm,
so it connects to the orchestrator and starts the job. Okay, so when I say job is automation that is
automation.
triggered from the automation and running on your machine. Okay, so the next run the job triggered from the orchestrator. Then whenever a job is running, right, you don't want always the job to run. Sometime you would have to view, pause, start, stop, or resume a process. How would you do that? So I have triggered a process from orchestrator and I see that, okay, this automation is going wrong, or I want to stop the process. How would you do that? One thing, I can go to the orchestrator. The easy way, I can go here and I can stop, resume the process from here also. Okay,
Okay.
so I can start a process from here also. So that is we are going to see. And this is the main guy, orchestrator, right? So this is a web application. So when I say web application, it will have a URL. You have to key in your credential and you can orchestrate your UiPath robots. See what this guy say, UiPath robots. This UiPath robots are nothing but the this assistant that you combine. So you have connected the machine to the orchestrator, right? If you remember.
Mm,
So you would have given the machine key and the orchestrator URL, and then it was successfully able to connect to the orchestrator, right? So this allow you to trigger this orchestrator, the UiPath robot. It help you to manage, create, and deploy the resources in your environment, right? So what is the environment? When I say, for example, if you are working for a company, let's take your example, right? And your company has different departments, right? HR, then you would have logistic, then you would have, let's say, IT
IT.
department, correct?
Mm,
Now you don't want the HR robots to contact to the IT guy robots, right? Or you want, I mean, how would you separate? Means you want, so whenever we create the process, I want that I would not like to have the HR robot access to the IT guys robots and the IT guy robots access to the this HR guys, right? So I want to separate them. So how do I separate? In UiPath, I create environments. So robots are strict to the environments. So that way, if I am a robot, I understand that, okay, I am a robot of the logistics. So I have to only execute the logistic processes. I cannot go and execute the HR processes. Okay, so that thing is also possible in Orchestrator. You are getting me or am I going fast?
no, it's fine. You say I should call your attention if I'm having any problem. It's fine.
Okay, okay, thanks. Okay,
Yeah.
then it acts as an integration point for the third party solution and application. See, I'll tell you, UiPath Orchestrator does not only connect with the UiPath robot. So we have technologies like ML skills, right? We have
Mm,
document understanding, we have AI fabric, we have
yeah. Yeah.
UiPath apps, UiPath data
Yes.
service. So everything is
Yeah.
connected by this single.
Yeah.
So it's
There's one I read of.
hmm,
They call it Citrix or something.
No. Citrix is something different. So basically, if I want to include the machine learning skills to my robot, right? Where do I add it? So this is the place. We will
Okay.
get to all those details. Okay. So it
Okay.
has the power to manage your entire robotics thing. It is the, so you can just treat this as the controlling system of your all the automations. So as a beginner, you should be totally aware of these components: Studio, Assistant, and Orchestrator. Okay. So now let us see how exactly these things are connected. Okay. So you write a automation in Studio. Okay. So I give you an automation. I tell you that you have to automate this thing. As a developer, you completed the automation in your Studio. Okay. So you press F5 and this is running perfectly from your Studio, right? Now, what would you do next? Now, if I tell you that now I want this process to run from multiple machines at once. So, assuming that your company having 5 developers, okay, I
Okay.
tell you that you have written the process, you are F5 in your machine and it's working fine. Now I tell you that I want as a manager, I want to run this process on 5 different machines. So what will you do? We won't give the code to everybody, right? You run the code, then I give it to the next developer, then I give it to the next developer. Then if I change anything, I have to again change the code in the 5 machine, right? So something mechanism should be there, right? So how do we do
Yeah.
that? So we write the code in the Studio, right? Whenever we publish the code, it creates a packet. That packet is called a nugget package. Okay, so what is a nugget package? So for example, whenever you create any application and this is a published version, so how does a notepad work? We type notepad.exe and it starts, right? So exe is a executable format that Windows understand. So if I double click on anything, so that is an exe. So that's how that exe is working, because the Windows operating system understand that, okay, this is an exe and I have to execute it. Similarly, orchestrator understand a nugget package. Okay, so
Okay.
as a fresher or a beginner, you should aware that whenever we publish a code from Studio, we get a nugget packet. So the extension is .nupkg. Okay, so Studio, you develop the code, you deploy it to the orchestrator. Now that in orchestrator, it is running perfectly. Okay, now in the orchestrator, you schedule the what happens in the orchestrator now. So now I have deployed the code, I have hit on the publish button, it is available in the orchestrator, right? Now
Mm.
orchestrator will ask me what should I do with this nugget, right? Orchestrator don't have brain to run it on the specific machine, specific user, right? It won't, we have to tell him, right? So what do we do in orchestrator? In orchestrator, first of all, we create environment, right? So now I hope you understand environment. You understand
Okay.
environment. You
Yeah.
so in orchestrator, first of all, we create environment to separate the robots. Okay, as per departments. So HR department goes separate, IT department goes separate, logistic goes separate. So on orchestrator, first we create environment. Okay, next the process is assigned to the environment. So which is this process? So the process which we have written in the Studio, let's say it is for the logistic, this is for the logistic environment. So we will assign the process to the this environment. Okay, next this nugget, and this nugget, whatever the nugget we deploy, it is called a process. So I'll tell you, first we go and create environment, right? Next we create
Mm.
process. Now what is a process? Whatever the nugget which you have deployed from the Studio is a process.
Okay.
Okay, so assuming that we have written a program for Hello World. So Hello World will be a process now in Orchestrator. So for this environment, this will be the process. Okay. Next, we will create a job. So what is a job? Job will allow us that in which machine we want to trigger the process. So if I just go back one step, right? So you have deployed the nugget in orchestrator, you have created the environment. Now environment will ask me what all processes do I have, right? So I will tell you that you have this process. But how would it know? So whatever you deploy from here, these are the process, right? So now job is something when exactly you want to run that process. So every process cannot run every time, right? So some process will run at 8 a.m. in the morning, some process will run at the 12 a.m., some will run at, let's say, 1 p.m. Some process will work only on Sundays, right? So every job will have a definite time to run. Where do we schedule that? Orchestrator is the place. Okay.
Okay.
And then when I schedule a job, then orchestrator will ask me, okay, I will trigger your robot on every Sunday, but who will execute? Right. So the question arises, who will execute? Then who will execute? Robot will execute. And this robot is nothing but connected to the UiPath assistant, the assistant we were talking about, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
orchestrator will give a signal to that assistant, that orchestrator will give a signal to this assistant that you trigger this job, and this job will consist of the process which we have developed from the studio. Okay. And
Yeah.
this robot is, that is what I told, right? This robot is nothing but the assistant. So now how the process, now this is the complete picture. We develop a code in studio, we publish the nugget, we publish the nugget to the orchestrator. In the orchestrator, we create environment. Then this nugget, we create a process, right? So this process is nothing but this nugget only. Okay. Then we create a job. So why do we create a job? Because every process will have to be triggered at a different time. And then who will execute the job? So somebody has to be there, right, to execute the job. That guy is robot. So robot will
Um,
execute the job. Job is nothing but the process which you have developed in studio. And how the process are tagged to the environments. And now what is environment? It is just a logical separation of the uh,
yeah.
franchise or the verticals, right? So that's why, so my robot, this robot will have only access to the process which are, so first we assign the environment. So environment will have both the process and the robots. So the robot, this robot will have only access to this process. It won't have access to other processes. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
this is nothing
Yeah.
but the
Sorry,
assistant. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a
Go ahead.
question.
Yeah. Tell me.
Like for these processes now, let's assume that in this environment we have five
Hmm.
different environments
Huh.
consisting of five different uh, departments. Hmm?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, each job has to run one at a time. They cannot
Okay.
run simultaneously, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So during the does the studio
Hmm.
choose randomly? Like let's assume now, like uh, we have five,
Okay.
maybe IT section, finance section, sales
Hmm.
section.
Hmm.
Now, for the
Hmm.
does it choose any section? It will run its process randomly, or is there a way you will make it, you will configure it in such a way that okay, IT should come first based on demand,
Hmm.
sales second, and all that?
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know if
So, okay, got it, got it. So let me just
mm,
reframe your question. You are saying that can we schedule the process to run on a timely basis, or how does the scheduling work, right? So that is the question.
yeah,
So
yes,
whenever we deploy a process to the orchestrator, right? So orchestrator, okay, let's directly go to the orchestrator and I will show you. Okay, so this is the orchestrator. Okay,
yeah,
so this is the robot. Okay, so when I say this is the robot, means this is this guy. Which guy? This
yes.
assistant.
UiPath assistant,
Assistant,
yeah.
right?
Mm,
So when I came to orchestrator for the first time, my orchestrator would be something like blank. Okay, it won't have nothing. So first thing, I create an environment, right? So for me, I have an environment called ET environment. Okay. So
mm,
next, I create robots, right? So as of now, I only have one robot. Now, assuming that
okay.
I have 10 robots and 5 environments, right? So
Mm,
whenever I create a robot, right? So let's say I create a robot here, right? So if you will see, it is assigned to which environment? ET environment,
okay,
right?
okay.
And it is of
Mm,
type unattended, right? And this is the
okay.
machine,
Mm,
this is my personal machine which I'm working. So whenever I trigger a process, right? So now, okay, so you understand environment, you understand robot, right?
yeah.
Now let's say okay, let me go to your Apache Studio, and let us just quickly create a process, and then you would understand. Okay, I have created a process. in Studio. So we are at this stage now. Okay, I am in UiPath Studio and I am going to create a nugget. Let it just open. So my pace is okay, right? You are getting, let me know whenever I need to slow down because sometimes I speak very fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go here, open main workflow. Okay, and working. See, this is how we know it is connected or not. So this green dot, it is mean that I am connected to this
So,
orchestrator enterprise style,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is the connection. Okay. So if I go
Mm.
to the activity, let's take a input dialog. That is the simplest one. Okay. So I take a input dialog. This guy here. Okay. And we'll say hello. Say hello. This would be the text box and the label will be say hello. And how do I create a variable? So this will ask me a question. Okay. Okay. So this will ask me that what is the variable? It will give me an input option and it will ask me to have the response output, right? So how can I create a variable? I have to store the result somewhere, right? So I go to the result. I will press Control plus K. That is the shortcut to create a variable.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
And str underscore text. So what is the benefit? So I could have directly go here and type variables here, right? So
Yeah.
I could, so
Mm.
what is the difference I get? So if I am not sure of the data type, right? Yeah, I am not sure what, so this was a simple, I know this is a string, right? So
Mm.
for other activity, it would be different. So what an easy way is to always go to the properties, hit Control plus K, and it will already select the variable type for you. You don't have to means worry about this guy. Okay, so it is
Okay.
always best. And since I already know that it is of type string, so it is always a recommended way to name this with the str underscore text, right? Don't just randomly name the variables, because whenever you are doing a big automation or a larger automation, it would create a problem. Okay, so the first
Okay.
lesson is rename the variables as per the naming conventions. If it is integer, we write int underscore. If it is
Mm.
string, we write str, right? And this guy, right? So whenever we drag and drop any activity, it has a default name, right? So always change the name that what this activity is doing. So two reasons: it is easy to debug. Next thing, if I give this automation to somebody else, he will understand, right? So sequence,
Mm.
this sequence, we are just printing the name, right? So it won't take means more time, but it will benefit more, right? So see, printing the name, ask the useful, and then let's say I will type a message box. Okay, and we will say hello, and whatever input we give, we will just append it here, right? Simple automation. You ask the user his name and print it in a message box. Okay, so my this part is done. Okay, now I have to create a nugget and send to orchestrator, right? So if I go to the publish, okay, this is the process name. You are with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so uh, I will say hello to user. Okay, so this publishing option, I click here, I go to publish, it will publish to orchestrator. Remember the version number. Now I have one more option. So what I can do is, so okay, we'll talk about the custom option later on. As of now, let's go ahead and deploy it to orchestrator. I will click on publish, and it is creating a nugget package. Okay, I will just copy this thing to the clipboard. So I will go here and paste it here, right? So this is my project details. This is published to the orchestrator. That means we have done this thing, right? Done. It
Mm.
is in the orchestrator. Now, how would my assistant, this guy, know that there is something deployed, right? It is not sure because we have deployed it in the orchestrator. Okay. So my orchestrator, if you will see here, it is connected to the default tenant, this one. Okay, so if I go to the orchestrator now, and if I go here, I am in the default now. Okay, so what would have I done when my orchestrator was blank? First thing, I would have created an environment. I hope now you understand the environment, right?
Yeah.
So we can have more environment. So let's say logistics. Okay, like this, we can have multiple environments. Okay, now as soon as I create the logistic, it is asking me that which all robots you want to assign to the logistic environment. Okay, so
Okay.
as of now, I have only one robot, so I will click cancel. Now, when you are dealing with the automations, first thing we create environments, next we create robots, right? So when we create robots, so I have two options, standard, floating. We will talk about this later, but we have to just select which machine I want to run the robot to. So this is my machine, this is my laptop. So this
Yeah.
machine, then which is the robot, what is the domain and the username, and connectivity we will see later. So as of now, this is already connected to my robot. When I say robot, I have passed the machine key from for this robot to the UiPath assistant, right? This guy. So
Mm.
whenever I run any automation from orchestrator and I point it to this, it will run on this laptop. As simple as that. Whenever
Yeah.
we say orchestrator, you run the on this UA robot, unattended robot, it will run where? It will run on this machine and it will not run on any other machine, and it is connected to this environment. So if I go back to my diagram, we are here, I am have deployed it in orchestrator, I have created the environment also. Okay, now we want to have the process. How do we do that? So when once I have deployed everything here, so that automation will be staying somewhere, if I go to the my folder and automations. Okay, so if I click on this plus, so as of now I have how many? So if I tell you, you tell me how many automations I have. Seeing the screen, tell me how many automations I have in the
Okay.
orchestrator. How many automations you see as of now on the screen?
Now one.
One, right? What is the name?
Mm.
Acme, right?
Yeah.
So
Actually, yeah.
Acme. And what is our name? Say hello to user. That is not available,
Yeah.
right? Because why
Mm.
it is not available? Because we have just deployed the nugget to the orchestrator. We have not converted the nugget to the process yet. So,
Okay.
so whenever we publish, it is just a dump. So I won't say dump. It is just available in the orchestrator, right? Orchestrator need to understand that this is a process. So for that, what we will do, we will click on this plus button. Okay. Now, if you will see, what is this asking? It is asking me package, a package.
Mm.
And this is the package. Why it is calling it as a package? Because we have created a nugget package. NUPKG means nugget package, right?
Okay.
This
Mm.
nugget package. So orchestrator expect a nugget package. So it is telling me, okay, you want to create a process. So I am going to, I am telling orchestrator that, hello orchestrator, I want to have a new process. Orchestrator will tell me, create a new process by clicking on the plus button. I click on the plus button. Now orchestrator asks me, what is the package, right? So let me go ahead and select the package. So see, you will see, right? It will give
Yeah.
me the list of package. So which package you want to deploy? It is not
Say
necessary I
hello.
want to say hello to users, right?
Yeah.
Now orchestrator will ask me, okay, what is the display name you want to have to the process? So whenever you are developing a code, so you would be following some practices, right? For example, the name of the projects would be log underscore hello user. What is the display name? So display name is what do you want the process to be visible when. So for in the previous, there was one process called Acme, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm.
is good to have the same name, but you can always change it because this is more of a UI kind of thing, right? So I cannot
Mm.
put some technical jargon here, so people won't understand. So you can always keep it to same, or it's good to always keep this to same because that makes sense. But you can always go ahead and change to this name, display name, right? Now, what is the package version? Why package version? Because now let's say we'll come about this package version. So as of now, I have one package version selected. Now, if you will see orchestrator, what orchestrator is asking me, which environment you want to run, right? which all robots. So it is not asking me the robot. See, it has not even asked me that which robot you want, right? It is asking me just
Yeah.
for the environment. Why? Because robots are tagged to environment, processes are tagged to. So first of all, we create a process, we assign it to environment. So which environment we want? So we want to the ET environment. So I can go and change to the logistic environment also, but I have don't have any robots for the logistic, right? So we will tell
Mm.
you run it on the ET environment, right? So these are the job priority, high, medium, low. I will keep it to the default settings. Then these are some of the parameters we can discuss later on. So as of now, what I will do is go ahead and create the process. Okay, so now I have one more process here. Say hello to user. Okay, so now if I go back to my diagram, we have created an environment. The nugget package is converted to a process now. Okay,
Process.
so now this is the process. If I go to the process, see, this is the processes, right? So this is the process. Now, if I want to run this process, so every time I run this, this is called a job. So this is a job, that is a task, kind of task assigned to the robot. So when I click
Mm.
on, if I hover, what do you read? Read this, it says start a job. Okay, so
Yeah.
one thing, I can always go to the jobs tab and it will show me all the historical means jobs which we have triggers, right? So this is all available here. So let us try to run this automation. So if I go say hello to users and if I click on this button, start a button, right? Now, if you will see, we have assigned this to which environment? We have assigned it to
Say
the,
hello to.
right?
Yeah.
Now I have to select the robot. You're getting? See, now orchestrator will ask me which robot you want to assign. So assuming when I say robot, this is nothing but the assistant only. Now
Yeah.
UiPath will ask me which assistant you want to run. And if you will see here, I have this process awaiting install. Why this is coming? Because this robot is connected to this environment, ET environment, and as soon as I deploy, here it is available. So now I can easily go and trigger it from here also,
Okay.
right? So that is what, when I say in the assistant, we can view, pause, start, stop, and resume a process. Okay,
Okay.
whenever we trigger the job from the orchestrator, it this is the guy who is responsible for triggering. Okay, so now if we will see in the orchestrator, I go to orchestrator, I tell him to start a job. It will tell me, okay, you go here, click on the play button, and which job you want to start. So now it is not telling me to select the package, it is telling me to select the process, right? So which is the
Mm.
process we want to run? Say hello to user.
Say
Okay,
hello. Mm.
and now it is connected to which environment? The this environment, this guy, ET environment. And
Yeah.
this environment is having how many robots? So I can go in the environment. If I click here and I have something called manage, so I can easily add and remove the robots. So for example, when you run for a bigger firm or when you have more than one robot, so all the robots will be listed here. You can just check, uncheck like this and update it. Okay, and all the robots whichever you select in the manage will be available. So now in the jobs, if I go to the automation in the jobs, if I go ahead and select a new job, it will select me which is the job you want to. So it is connected to that environment, so it is only displaying me the robots which are for that environment. It is not, it will not display you the logistic robots, right? See, so for
Mm.
example, if I just change the environments, okay, let me just go ahead and remove this guy from here, update. I have no robots in the ET environment. Now, if I go to the automation, if I go to the jobs, and if I go ahead and run the process, it will ask me to select, say hello to users, but see, I do not see any of the robot. So you understand the concept of environments now,
Yeah.
right? So that is just to, group the robots together. So let us just flip back. I will go here in the environments. Okay. And in the this manage, I will reassign it, update. Okay, now this robot is available, so we can check it from here also. If this is the robot, this is the environment. Okay, and in the automations, in the jobs, we go here. Let us select a process, say hello to users. This is and start. So when I create a start, right, what will command send? This command is sent to this guy. See, you see here, something is happening,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it is, see, waiting for the execution to start. So now start processing, and it is, I can pause it and I can stop it also,
Okay.
right? So now, see, it is the automation which we have coded, right? So let's say I will just put my name here and hit OK, and hello Mukesh Kala, right? So that means our
Yeah.
automation is running fine. So that is successful. So how do I know? I go to jobs and I click on the refresh. You will see it has started, right? And then it ended a few seconds ago, right? Now I can always use this guy also, assistant, to trigger the process. So if I go in the home, you will see the I am connected to the default one. So the default one is having two automations. I can run it from here also. Start,
Mm.
and then it will again trigger the same automation. And this time I just put a random name. Okay, and it is executed. Now if you will see here, the first time it was manual execution, this time it was triggered from the assistant, right?
Okay.
So
Mm.
when we go to the PPT, I have told you that it is responsible for managing the entire robot fleet. That one, that also means that it will give you all the information what is happening with your automation, what is happening with the robots. All those details will be available with the orchestrator. See, we have just made a simple small change, right? We just triggered it from the here, and then we triggered it from the assistant. But if you are looking at the orchestrator, it gives you all the details, that it was started, it ended, it was the machine. So this has that capability. So now if I ask you, do you understand this complete picture? Do
Yeah.
do you understand this guy? Right? Do you understand this complete picture, that how exactly this thing is working?
Yeah.
Okay, that is cool. So now one assignment to you. Okay, so you create a robot and try to run it from the orchestrator.